The Russian hacker has been found. Interpol, working together with FBI, have located the Russian hacker. Authorities have released this photo of the Russian hacker. If you recognize this person, please contact law enforcement. What's really going on with this Russian hacker story? We're into 2017 now. This Russian hacker thing's been going on for 3 months, since before the 2016 election. Russian hackers, Russian hacking, Russian hackers. What is really happening here? Why are the prostitutes and CIA and the Democrat Party and the GOP, for that matter, why are they all on the same page trying to peddle this dog crap story, this phony lie about Russian hackers? Why? Well, there's a few reasons. Perhaps you can come up with more. Here are the main reasons. First, bad guys accuse you of what the bad guys are doing. Hillary Clinton has been taking money from China, from Saudi Arabia, from, name your least favorite countries. Hillary Clinton has been taking billions of dollars in total from these countries and laundering that cash through the Clinton Foundation. James Comey used to be involved with the drug money bank HSBC. James Comey is now in charge of the FBI for the moment. What do they realize? They realize Trump's coming in, and Trump may, I don't know if he's going to, but it's possible that Trump might uncover or expose or do something to somebody. All right, uncover some crime involving foreign money, involving treason, involving laundering, selling influence in the U.S. government. Because half the regime down in D.C. is dirty, and the other half is following orders from the dirty half. All right, so they're basically all dirty. So, what do? Well, if you think a huge story like that's going to come out, you wear out the story. You wear out the story in advance so the neighbors don't care anymore. You know that childish taunt, that's my name, don't wear it out? Well, that's exactly what Hillary and Soros and all these kleptocrat globalists are doing. The globalists are wearing it out. Russia, Russia, Russia. Every day when you wake up to the time you go to sleep, you probably see, 50 stories. Maybe I'm exaggerating a bit. Maybe 10 to 15 stories about Russian hacking. Minimum. This is all day and all night for 3 months. They're wearing it out so that your neighbors tune out. Oh, we've already heard that story. When the real culprits get rounded up and somebody says, hey, you've been taking money from Russia. Hey, you've been taking money from China. The neighbors will say, you know what? We've heard this for months. There's nothing to the story. It's been going on for months. What else is on TV? What else is on the web? And they change the channel, tune it out. So that's what the bad guys, the globalists, are doing. Another goal of this phony Russia hacking, this fake news story. The regime, the Uniparty, rigged the 2016 election. They printed somewhere between 3 million and 5 million phony, fake ballots. Those ballots are still in ballot boxes. They're still in the count boxes. All right, locked in the the municipal buildings in the districts across the country. Who was really so when they get if and when this gets exposed, what do? Well, you blame Russia. You don't come up with that excuse the morning you get caught. You come up with that excuse in advance, and you come up with this tale, this fantasy, and you put it all over the news. Yeah, Russia hacked the election. Russia hacked the election. Wasn't us. Wasn't the American. Wasn't the mob. Wasn't the D.C. kleptocrats. Wasn't CIA. Wasn't Pelosi. Wasn't the Chicago mob. It was freaking Russia. You point the finger in advance, so you have plausible deniability when you finally get caught with 3 million Daffy Duck ballots sitting in these ballot boxes. Now, what else did we find? Well, who was really hacking the election? DHS, the Secretary of State of the state of Georgia, and I believe it's West Virginia, and there's one other state. It might be Minnesota. There's 3 states, including Georgia. They've accused DHS of hacking into their voter databases, their digital voter databases. Why is DHS hacking it? Well, who bust in? Do you remember when DHS bust in millions or hundreds of thousands of illegal aliens? They bust them in here from Guatemala and Mexico. Then DHS set up sort of like a Greyhound bus line, except it was DHS bus line. They covered the windows, and they bust these illegals to certain cities around the country. They specifically placed hundreds of thousands of illegals in certain voting districts around the United States, inside the country, right? The whole thing was illegal. Why were they positioning them? To rig the election so they could go vote. And what happened? Well, a couple days before the 2016 election, Obama, the president, quote unquote, of the USA, goes on TV and announces to these illegal aliens, hey guys, are you an illegal alien? Well, get out and vote. Vote in the American election. We're not going to check up on you. We don't compare names. We're not going to, no one's coming after you. Get up. You're in the country illegally. You should be in prison and then deported. But we're not going to do any of that. We want you to get out and go vote. Vote. Okay? Folks, DHS rigged it. They hacked in. Why are they hacking in now after the election? Why? Because they have to scrub and delete all those phony names that were used by the illegal aliens to vote. They have to go into the voter rolls digitally in Georgia, for instance, and they have to delete, remove, doctor, cleanup. It's a cleanup operation. They have to scrub all of the phony names that they put there so that these illegals could get in the door and vote. Okay, so DHS is doing a digital cleanup. They are hacking in to clean up their rigging because they rigged the heck out of the 2016 election, but they didn't rig it enough, and now they're running scared. So, who really hacked it? Well, Soros hacked it. Okay, the Chicago mob did a lot of the groundwork as usual. Blackmailed, bribed officials, for example, in Philadelphia. All right, the Pelosi machine, the Democrat, the Clinton machine. Call it whatever you want. Okay, I call it the Uniparty because they wouldn't get away with this if John McCain, piece of garbage, Lindsey Graham, blackmailed pervert, and Mitch McConnell, pathetic sideshow freak, did anything to stop it. If they drew any attention to this, but of course they're on the take too. They're also blackmailed. I almost said politicians. They are also blackmailed kleptocrats. Okay, so they're all in this together. All right. So now, what's another reason to blame Russia? So that the regime can seize control of the next election and the next one and the next one to keep the racket going. They just hit a speed bump here with this 2016 election because they didn't rig it the way they wanted. So what do they want to do the next time? Well, they've announced this many times and they just announced it again today. Obama, DHS, wants to basically federalize the state elections. DHS wants to take control of the state elections from sea to shining sea, take control of every state in the nation openly. And what will this turn into? Well, with DHS running the election, this will turn into DHS openly rigging the election, openly cheating, and there's nothing you can do about it because it's classified, or it's, like Sandy Hook, they classify the report, the FBI report, you can't read it. Same thing here, all right? They tried to rig it, but they totally failed in 2016. They won't make that mistake again. They are not letting this crisis go to waste. Now it's time for them to really lock it down, so this disaster of losing an election doesn't happen to them again. And all it costs them, what does it cost them? Just fax paper. They got to fax Anderson Cooper his talking points, fax him what BS he's supposed to say on CNN tonight to fool your neighbors that Russia hacked the election. That's all it costs them, folks. It's just they just take the pencil eraser, they erase a couple lines for Anderson, and they write in a couple new lines. That's it. They're a bunch of crooks. This is their job. They are crooks. Their job is stealing from you and betraying you. All right? Soros really hacked the election. Now, other reasons. You'll come up with more reasons, but here's a few miscellaneous reasons for blaming Russia. Russian hackers. Every time we turn around, Russian hackers. First, undermine Trump by claiming Trump would have lost if Putin didn't hack the election for Trump. All right, this is total garbage, but folks eat it up. Hillary won the popular vote. Yeah, I'll win the popular vote too if you print me 20 million freaking fake illegal alien ballots, 20 million Daffy Duck ballots. I'll win it all day. Okay, that's what Hillary did. She still lost because she's pathetic and a loser. Another reason, distract you from real stories, like the 95 million Americans out of work, unable to find jobs. Just keep screaming the word Russia. Keep screaming Russia. Keep pointing towards Russia. Maybe 95 million Americans will forget they cannot put food on the table. Good luck with that. Another reason, demonize American citizens who tell the truth. If American citizens are posting the truth on their blogs, on Facebook, well, just accuse them of being Russian agents. Accuse them of working for Vladimir Putin. All right? What are they really? Well, they're really sick of getting defrauded and mocked by DC crooks. But if you have too many of them, those troublesome, pesky citizens, just demonize them, smear them, just sling mud, call them Russian agents. All right, and then say they're spreading fake news on orders from Russia, and use that as an excuse to crack down and pass censorship crackdowns. So Russian hackers, that's the hip, fashionable lie this winter. But what's the well-dressed prostitute wearing for spring? Well, stay tuned. Subscribe to Barry Soetoro channel. Check out the links below.